use this as a good segue because you use some great examples, Jazzy, especially when it comes to using your son not speaking for a while and then him going back to speaking. Charles here, and I would like for people to also understand, because what we're used to seeing right now, the more we are seeing about autism, everybody seems to think that all these kids are silent. And, you know, there is either a physical element or they're super silent and there's a communication and comprehension issue. But we are also missing the boat on kids who are children who can communicate. So if I could get Char to kind of speak up, and I'm sorry to put her on the spot, but she can give you a perspective and a different look at a child, because I think what's important to educate people, we're seeing autism a little bit more. So it's like, oh gosh, they're not speaking, they're autistic. What about kids who are speaking, who are in regular ed classrooms, and they're still being missed? And then they're getting kicked out of school because of behavior or this or that. So Charles, if you can kind of speak on your experience and coming through the Philadelphia school system yourself.
Certainly. So interestingly enough, I want to say I felt like I was lucky, right? Because my son was in a good school. So, you know, he was diagnosed when he was 6, but when he was in preschool, when he was, you know, when you're in the 2-year-old class and the 3-year-old class, so he's in the 3-year-old class, and they're telling me he should be in the 2-year-old class. And then I had to deal with that. And then when he got to kindergarten, and they're like, well, I think he needs to repeat kindergarten. And I wasn't on board with that. And then first, because he seemed like he was not autistic to me. I didn't think anything was quote unquote wrong. First grade, the school contacted me. I felt lucky because he was in a good school. The school contacted me and said, can we evaluate him? Can we have our school psychologist evaluate him? And I was like, whoa. And I said, okay, you know. And that led to his diagnosis, and I got the report, and I had to answer all these questions and do all this stuff and submit this information to the school psychologist, and the school psychologist evaluated him. And at the end of when I got the reporting back, and at the end when it said autism, on the autism spectrum, I was stunned. I didn't know what to do, and I felt like, is this real? Are they making a mistake? You know, because everything I'd read about autism, I mean, being you know, friends with Terri and knowing Jaden, you know, I'm like, he's not the same as Jaden, right? He speaks, he enjoys social interaction, you know, all the stereotypes that were going along with autism, he didn't display any of that, but he had quirks, right? Just quirks. And you know, so that was interesting to me. So the first time I went to the IEP meeting, and I'm like, I'm an educated woman, I'm you know, I mean, not the smartest woman in the world, but I got a little something behind me, right? So I'm going to be okay. I went to the meeting. There is the special education teacher, his teacher, the principal, occupational therapist, speech therapist, and everybody's telling me, your child can't. He doesn't this. He has difficulty with this. He doesn't understand this. And it was coming at me, and I'm like, what? Whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? Like, it was very difficult as a mom of a child who seemed like they didn't have any kind of difference at all. And I you know, hearing everybody talk, I'm hearing their stories, and everything is connecting with me because I had similar experiences, but not as obvious, right? So when parents would tell me, nothing's wrong with that boy, when everybody found out he was autistic, oh, nothing's wrong with him, he's smart. I didn't say he wasn't smart. I didn't say something was wrong with him. I said he learns differently, you know, and now I'm constantly having to check people about, you know, about my son. Even till this day, I mean, I still do that. So, you know, after I had that IEP, if I didn't have Terri as a resource, I mean, for me, she was like my personal resource, right? But she helped me understand the language. She helped me, and I know occupational therapy, but I didn't know as it connected to my son. She helped me understand the language. She helped me understand how to observe him in a different kind of way so that I could effectively communicate to all these clinicians what's going on. Everything changed, you know, and she helped me become a better advocate for my son, and that's what Jaden's Voice does for all parents.
Wow. Now, you've just heard some really, really powerful testimonials, and we're here today. If you're just tuning in, shame on you. But because we've been on the air for 45 minutes. But this is LesBe Radio Talk, and we're here today with Terri Matthews. I believe Deanne wanted to chime in.
Yeah, 45 minutes later, and we need to wrap up. So, Terri, where can we find your information, and how can people stay informed?
Definitely, you can find us on social media. Jaden's Voice, Jaden's Voice is our Instagram. Jaden's Voice on Facebook, and that's JADENS, spelled just like Will Smith's son, Jaden. And you can also find us at www.jadensvoice.org. Our phone number is reachable anywhere in the world, 1-800-825-8950. Again, that's 1-800-825-8950. And one of our special people will get back to you.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful.